he storms through. Sonic the Hedgehog, don't doubt what he can do. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
Hello and welcome to the 79th episode of Pixels in the Animation. I am one of your hosts, TFJ and Mike. Joining me in this epic journey is TV's Mr. Neil. Yes, folks,
Yep.
It's time for a beer.
I never drink beer.
I know. Well,
But, you know, under normal circumstances, yeah.
yeah. Today, we put a full stop on going way past cool. That's right, we're done with the Sonic Satan series.
Yay.
I'm sorry. But we're going to recap our thoughts on it. So let's juice and jam on over to Knothole one last time. And later in the episode, folks, we do have JT from Saskatoon who will come in to try to explain to us why this was a good cartoon. And
Good luck.
I know, right? Oh, Lord. So, how we're going to do this is kind of how I do most of my recaps. We talk about favorite things, least favorite things, yada, yada, yada. Then we do the overall kind of thing. If there's any trivia. I wish I almost did this with the other recaps that we did for... I mean, we've been doing the show since 2013 or so I figure, can't go back and do it now, but, I almost wish I had this idea then, because in this script that I put together for us, I said two things: favorite video game based thing that was in the cartoon, and least favorite video game based thing that was in the cartoon. And yeah, I should have done that all those years ago for each of the, because I don't remember doing that.
No.
But so yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. We're gonna start with favorite characters. The list is fairly short. Obviously. I like Sonic to a certain extent. I think as the series goes on, he gets less and less annoying. Tails, Tails didn't really... I've always liked Tails, but Tails didn't... He didn't get a lot of time in this cartoon.
No.
Like, he got time, but...
He was inoffensive. I mean, he didn't drag the story down.
Yeah.
He should have been in it more.
You would think so. You would think. I like Sally. She's alright. I like Bunny. She's alright. I would have to say, out of the entire cast, even though he was annoying as hell at first, I just can't stop saying fuel. And it's only because it's Rob friggin' Paulsen. That's really the only reason why I love Antoine, is because it's Rob Paulsen.
And that's so happy. What now? No way! I saved you a dog! You gonna munch this or what? Going? Out of here! Chill, Rooney. Sonic Hedgehog! La 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 la! Man, I had no clue old Ant wanted a chili dog that bad.
Yeah, Antoine grew on me. Who did you like from this series for characters?
Let's see. I like Sonic and Tails, basically. Tails was, like I said, he wasn't in it that much, but he's one of those kid characters.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't really as annoying as the typical kid's character. He just, I don't know, he was pleasantly juvenile. He wasn't like he didn't have an attitude. He was just kind of there to be Sonic's buddy, and I can't really.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time explaining why I like Tails in this, but it's just that he was just like the kind of kid character you'd want to be around. He wasn't like Daniel Witwicky, a goddamn annoying character who's skewed younger than Spike from the first 2 seasons. But
I will take your Daniel and I would raise you a Scott Tracker. Come on now. Come
I
on now.
didn't watch Masked.
Scott is worse than Dan. You never watched Masked, really? Wow. Oh,
well,
boy.
not at length. I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah.
But what
no.
was Sally's little computer palm
Nicole.
pilot? Yeah, Nicole. I like Nicole after she got the attitude.
Yeah, after
That was hysterical.
Yeah. It was. Because Sally's like, why are you talking like that, Nicole?
She's like, "Oh my God, Sonic, what did you do?"
You know, right? I gave her a personality. Nicole was awesome. All right, so for favorite episodes, what I put for this one, even though I have the episode list, I basically just wrote down one note for this. Any of the story-driven episodes that bring the continuity into something that's manageable.
Yeah.
The rest of it, there are certain cartoons that just try too hard to do certain things, and this is one of them. But another one I think I enjoyed was the episode 5 from season 1, which is Supersonic, where Robotnik searches for the computer archive of spells. And there was like one thing in that I didn't really care for, but other than that, I liked that one. The finale for the series was good as well. Again, going into the whole continuity of everything. My favorite one. How could I not even mention this? My favorite one out of them all. The only one that is not continuity driven. The only one-off episode that I absolutely would love, and will probably go back and watch at some point. The Odd Couple.
Oh, jeez.
What about you on favorite episodes?
Like you said, pretty much any of the story-driven episodes, except for maybe the finale, just because it wrapped up so quickly and ended on such a popcorn fart. It's like you don't ever find out what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the episodes that had cohesion. Unfortunately, that's like the last 6 episodes, and maybe certain select episodes from season 1.
Yeah.
It's like I can't imagine if you were to make a Sonic Sad-Am abridged series, it wouldn't be that long.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could take out most of the comedic episodes and string the other ones together to make some sort of abridged series that would actually make sense.
Yeah.
Favorite video game based thing in the cartoon? Were there any? I mean, okay.
Not that I can really think of, because what's going on in Sonic? He runs, he spins, he bops on enemies, and I'm sure that happened in the series, but it's kind of hard to pick one out.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a point where, like, close to the end of season 1, maybe the middle of season 2, they started using the spin dash. Because, again, this was 2 years after Sonic 2 had come out. Mm-hmm. So maybe that. How they incorporated the ring power was interesting, but strange.
And not at all based on the video game.
No, not at all. That was one thing that was not based on the video game. So getting into least favorite things, least favorite characters. For me, it's the SWAT bots. They were boring as hell. I mean, like, normally you expect these, automaton robot things to have some sort of not necessarily individual personalities, but some sort of, most of the time, most cartoons in the 80s and 90s would, use these characters to do like Spider-Man one-liners or things like that as they're fighting the villain. And these guys are just more dumb than anything else. I am only going to say Rotor a little bit, the walrus dude that's in the Freedom Fighters, only because he was one character we did not really get a whole lot from.
No.
He was there here and there and everywhere, but he wasn't really used all that much, and he basically led no importance to the series. What about you for least favorite characters?
Dulcie.
Yeah, I forgot about Dulcie.
Annoying Dulcie. And her stupid nose ring and knee pads that only show up once. And maybe any of the other Freedom Fighters that showed up, just because they didn't really factor into the story at all.
You mean besides the core?
Yeah, there was a bit about Sally's dad having a list, and it didn't really factor in. It's like, okay, what did these guys do? They got captured in the last episode, and Sonic had to solve everything himself anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what are these characters here for? Go away.
Yeah.
Maybe if they weren't there, we wouldn't have had a slapdash ending.
That's true. And I'm pretty sure you don't watch a lot of current WWE stuff, but one of Jericho's gimmicks these days has been, "You just made the list!"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. All right, least favorite episodes. Honestly, some of the bad comedic ones, they're like, I like The Odd Couple because that's just funny because that's Rob Paulson going off on the deep end. But in season 1, there are some bad episodes. I'm trying to see here, like as much as I like Antoine, Hooked on Sonics, that was just stupid. That was just dumb. Hooked on Sonics, it doesn't work for me. What about you for episodes? Least favorite episodes?
Maybe anything where I had to put up with Dulcie for an extended period of time. I don't know. She's just... I have nothing against the actress, Cree Summer. She was Penny, Inspector Gadget's niece. She was Sassy number 5 in Kids Next Door. Mm-hmm. It's just like this performance. I don't know what it is. She's way too babyish, and I just don't like that character design. It doesn't. Actually, none of the characters really match the Sonic style. Like Sonic and Tails kind of look like themselves. Tails has the big anime eyes, and Sonic pretty much looks like he does in the game. Mm-hmm. But all the other characters, in particular Dulcie, don't look like they belong in Sonic.
Yeah, no, I don't remember a giant dragon coming out of one of those machines of Robotniks where Sonic frees all the animals and they turn back into the people.
Exactly. She's like the most out of place of any character.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's see here. All right, so least favorite video game based thing in the cartoon? Again, were there any? Like, I'll say this. There are times when he was facing against Robotnik, and I don't remember Robotnik's vehicles, some of them looking the way they look in the cartoon series. Like, I'm used to Robotnik coming in this giant silver and red thing with a giant wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't know.
This was like they didn't play the video games at all.
Yeah.
It just... I'm really hard to think of anything that was in this cartoon that was based on the games. I mean, maybe the pinball. Yeah. The pinball contraption. It's like, but why are they doing that? It's like, why did Dr. Robotnik make this pinball machine just for Sonic?
Mm-hmm. And the whole thing with the damn rings, I mean, okay, I get for the cartoon they have to do some sort of story and have to, create some sort of element, but they could have just left it at the fact that his Uncle Chuck made them for him and they come up out of this lake, we didn't necessarily need to see that they come up out of a machine that's buried at the bottom of the lake.
Right, and that episode was only made explicitly to explain what that was. I mean, there was no other point to that episode.
No, not really. Do we have any trivia for this show?
I tried to dig up some trivia based on Ken Penders and the comics, because a lot of these characters continue on in the comics, but I was not able to figure out if the story continues in the comics or if the comics are just their own thing. And I'm certainly not going to buy them. So I will say that over time, I like what I just commented on the character designs. Over time, they gradually start looking more like Sonic characters. So there's you can find pictures of Sally Acorn and Bunny Rabbit looking like traditional Sonic game characters. And I think they actually disappear from the comics because Ken Penders and Archie Comics had a big falling out, and a lot of his characters had to be removed. So that's why, like in more recent comics, they're back to just Sonic and Tails and Knuckles and all the Chaotix characters. So
yeah. Oh, that's one thing that.
No Knuckles.
Yeah, no Knuckles, but that's not what I was going to say. For least favorite video game-based thing in the cartoon, they say nothing of the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. There's no
nothing.
Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
And they were there from the start.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. Overall, for me, I don't think I'll go back to watch this series. I didn't watch it when it was first on. It took me 20 years to watch it all the way through. It's probably going to be, I'll probably be on my deathbed before I watch this series again. I mean, overall, it is a good, fun series, but it's not what everyone keeps telling me that it is. It's not that. We've even said in several of the episode reviews, this is supposed to be the Dark Sonic. Why am I laughing my ass off every 10 minutes here? You know?
Yeah, and for me, it was just, I was expecting more of a story, and if you're going to have, like, episodes where, like, that aren't really connected to one another, then it can't really be a Dark Sonic because there's no consequence for anything. If you're going to have a story, then you have to have consequences. You can't just, like, reset the status quo every episode. And eventually it did get to that point, but again, it was the last 6 episodes of the series.
Yeah, it was too little too late. Absolutely. And I assume you're never going to watch this one again, right?
Oh no. I'm glad that I finally stomached through it, and I can say that I've seen it now, but yeah, I'm never going to watch this again.
Be gone, Satan! Oh, Lord. Yeah, so that's going to it's a very short episode for us here, folks, on Pixels the Animation. As I said, this is our 79th episode. So next time around, in episode 80, we start the adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. It might be a couple of months before we get releasing those because I still have to go back and redo the entire schedule with the proper episode order. So yeah, it's going to be a while before you guys get another episode of Pixels the Animation, but we will finish all 100 podcasts. We will finish episode 80 to 100 before December 31st, 2017. So this podcast will end by the end of the year. We had the summer of Sonic. We can have the winter of Sonic. Oh God. What do you got going on? What have you been up to?
Well, since this recording is in temporal purgatory, I can't really verify anything at this moment, but I would say just go to DeCN.com and check what the latest comic is. If it's somewhere within the last couple weeks that I've updated, then you should check it out. Or if you haven't read it yet, then it's new to you. You should read it anyway.
There you go.
And I also have like a new kind of side project that I'm working on. It's called The Big Bad Movie Show. It's on YouTube. You can just Google it. And there might be more episodes. There might just be 3 by this point. I don't know.
We're going to take a quick break because I almost forgot. But we're going to go see if JT can explain to us why Sat AM is good. So we'll be back after this.
Hey guys, JT from Saskatoon here with my thoughts on Sonic Sat AM. In my opinion, the best Sonic series. And having said that, I can practically hear TV's Mr. Neil's blood start to boiling. Now, don't get me wrong, I never watched an episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog growing up. I knew of it, mainly from like the initial Archie comics little miniseries that they put out back in the day. And Sat AM, I loved it because I think it was a fairly solid cartoon in terms of story, in terms of animation. You know, Urkel, Jaleel White voicing Sonic the Hedgehog. When I found that out years after the fact, because I was a kid and I didn't pay attention to voice credits at all, I love the fact because seeing some of his work like away from Family Matters and that, I just, damn, this guy's actually a lot of fun. And I loved the cartoon mainly because as the comic series went on, it got a little darker, a little more mature. You know, the comic was the cartoon and the cartoon was the comic. And that's why I love the series. Now, I know Neil is a fan of neither. And Mike's, Mike, he's got his own. You guys got your own opinions, and I don't decry them one way or the other. It's just my thoughts on the thing. I like Sat AM. I think it's a solid series all around. Thank God it's not Underground or Sonic X. You know, we dodged a bullet there, folks. Anyway, this is JT from Saskatoon, signing out.
Sacrilege! You forgot one!
Which one did I forget?
Thank God it's not Sonic Boom.
Well, I haven't seen Sonic Boom, so I wouldn't know.
Really? Wow!
Decian, the superhero webcomic. Decian's got superhero antics and sexy girls. For action, comedy, mayhem, and more, read it now at Decian.com. DASIEN.com.
We are back. Thank you once again, JT. Sorry, dude. You Canadians can explain it all you want. We're not drinking that poutine or whatever the hell that crap is that you all have up there.
Sorry about that. Canadian jokes. Sorry,
Yes.
It won't happen again.
Yes, again. I feel like the rock and roll Ayatollah at this point. Anyway,
we can talk it over a bag of milk.
oh God, yes, while eating Tim's Horton. Horton here's a what? Anyway, that's going to do it for us here on Pixels the Animation. Thank you for joining us. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. As Neil said earlier, go over to Decian.com to check out all of his comic stuff. Email us feedback at geekcastradio.com. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. Follow us on Twitter at geekcastradio as the show is the network Twitter. Mine is TFU and Mike. What is your Twitter?
P. Lynn Bailey.
Stop it. Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/GeekCastRadio Network. You can also head on over to Facebook and search out TV's Mr. Neil for all his video game, cartoon, anime, all his geeky obsessions are under TV's Mr. Neil.
Yeah, that would be facebook.com/raving.hipster. I don't know why I put the period in there. It didn't make any sense. It doesn't need to be there.
Maybe that's a new end of a website. .com, .net,
No,
.eat.
I don't know why, because I thought I needed a space, so I did put a period. I don't know.
I don't know.
Raving.hipster.
Yes. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Pixels Animation. Wish you'll join us next time when we will be starting the reviews of the fun Sonic series, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. For now, I am TFU and Mike with
TV's Mr. Neil.
Tune in next time and help us find the pixels in the animation.